So your vice president, Kamala Harris, recently said that she's going to propose a plan to help black men. And most of us black men who got sense looked at her with a side eye. Let me just get into it. For starters, her proposal, this is a lie. This is another nothing burger. Something to try to get black men to vote for her. Democratic Party messed up when they brought out Barack Obama last week, and he scolded and chastised black men. And don't forget Magic Johnson scolded and chastised black men because some of us were not voting for her, planning on voting for Donald Trump for obvious economic reasons. And they're saying that that whole plan has backfired and bit them in the butt. So now Kamala has to release a plan for black men. The same group that she said that she wasn't going to do anything for just black people. Excuse me. Now all of a sudden she got this master plan. And it came out pretty quick, which makes me think that she probably already had this typed up or probably chat GTP'd it and created this. But came out with it pretty quick and said she's going to do something for black men. And like I said, we already know it's a lie. She said her proposal, she has a proposal to do it. So which means she's going to get in the office, claim she's going to try to do it, and not going to be able to do it because you can't do anything race-based. You can't because it's discriminatory. It's in the Constitution. It's the Civil Rights Act of 1866, all that kind of stuff. Hell, your man, even Edward Bloom, you know him, Blum, I mean, he sued, was it what's the name of that damn place? American Alliance for Equal Rights. And he sued colleges because of discrimination. He sued the Fearless Fund because they were handing out grants for businesses ran by black women, and he sued them, and they eventually, stopped the little grant fund and just renamed it and repackaged it because you can't do anything race based. And all this can be looked up now. And maybe back in the day you couldn't find this information, but now you can look it up. You can find it easy. You can Google it, Bing it, like I said, Chat GTP, all that, and find any information you want dealing with the Constitution and federal laws. But anyway, enough of that. Let's go ahead and go to this website. You see the screen. It says, come this is KamalaHarris.com's website, and it says Kamala Harris will deliver for black men. Let's get into it. It's a lot. It's a long read here, so we're not gonna read it all. But I just want y'all to understand that this is not just for black men. So don't fall for it. It's a lie. It's a lie. Like I said, if she could do something for black men, she should have been done it. That's why I said they could write a check for every freedman in this country for $1 million before the election, and I still wouldn't vote for her because you can't trust nobody like that. You only did it for my vote. I mean, it's not gonna work. I still wouldn't because I would be afraid that it's kind of like the stimulus checks that I think Trump and them handed out. Yeah, you can give me a check and say you're doing it because the economy's all jacked up and we can't buy nothing, but then come next April, you're gonna want your money back. She can give out reparations checks, but then after the election, somehow she could find a way to either tax it or to get it back or to penalize us for it. I don't trust it. If you want to get my vote the next time, you hand out reparation checks the day after. Well, the moment you get into office, that January 15th, once you get sworn in, your first business is to cut them checks. Then it's a good chance I'll vote for you the next election. But anyway, again, let's get into it. It said Kamala Harris will deliver for black men. Donald Trump is a serious threat to the lives of black men. I'm not sure how. Yeah, I do remember Donald Trump was in office for 4 years, and I don't think he hung too many brothers from trees during that time. But let's continue. It says Vice President Harris will deliver for black men and their families. It says she is laying out an agenda to give black men the tools to build wealth and achieve financial freedom, lower costs for themselves and their families, and protect their rights, addressing the issues that black men across the country have told her their top as is, are their top concerns. Now you see they provide 1 million forgivable loans up to $20,000 to Black entrepreneurs and others. Right there, you can click off her website and go on back to bed. We have been through the others since the civil rights of the 1960s, when the others were like white women because there was a minority. When they say others, that pretty much means that Black men ain't gonna get a whole lot of resources. We ain't been doing it because, like I said, we got the Civil Rights Act. So what happened to that? Why is it that a lot of Black men, a lot of Black business owners are saying that they still don't have access to resources that a lot of other businesses have, a lot of the groups have? It's bullcorn. It said launch a national health equity initiative focused on Black men. And you see this to legalize marijuana. I don't like that because why we got to have, I mean, why gotta get into like, something like a drug and alcohol, drugs, alcohol, entertainment. That's all I think Black men are good for. Black people are good for. And I'm like, you could come with something better than that. Let's say lower costs by enacting the first ever federal ban on corporate price gouging for food and groceries. Walmart. I remember I used to work for Walmart. I've told this story before years ago, mid 90s. Didn't work for them that well. Didn't work for them that long. Maybe about a few months, 6 months to a year. And I remember in the orientation meetings, they would say that Walmart might make 3% on all the products, food products. You know what I'm saying? So they don't make a lot of money selling groceries. Kroger even recently said they only make anywhere from 1.5 to 3% on their groceries. So there's really no money in groceries like that. And the reason why prices are high in the first place, it's not the grocery stores. It's everything before the grocery stores. It's the lack of resources or supply for, like, let's say gas prices. Say if gas prices are high. Well, if gas prices are high, then that means the truck drivers, the trucking companies got to pay more. But the trucking companies got drivers and people on salary already. So they can't cut into their profits and they can't really just drop the the salaries of the employees. So who gonna feel it? We gotta feel it. So they're gonna have to charge. Well, let's say they're gonna have to charge more to ship products, which means that the manufacturers and the warehouses got to feel it because their money gonna be cut into. So then they're gonna have to charge more for the producers, which means the producers are gonna have to do what? They're gonna have to charge more for the products that they produce and that they sell to us because the middleman is gonna have to get their money, and so does a manufacturer have to get their money. So, for instance, you sell apples. Let's say you sell apples for a certain price. I always sell for a certain price, and you got to think about the cost of your growing, your housing, your picking, your shipping, and then the money you got to pay for to be on the shelves. If any of that changes, it will affect your profit margins. So which means you have to charge somebody more. Who you gonna charge more? The consumer. That's how that goes. But anyway, anyway, you see everything on the screen. So I'm just gonna scroll down, say deserved president who will deliver on promises. Up, look at Donald Trump. Evil Donald Trump. Say Donald Trump is a serious threat to the lives and opportunities of Black Americans and Black men. It's amazing, not just Black men. They couldn't even stand us. Remember, the Black woman is the backbone of the Democratic Party. So now, with less than 3 weeks, 2 weeks away from the election, now you're thinking about us. Okay. It said Trump, let's read through a couple of these. Trump falsely accused the exonerated five and called for them to receive the death penalty. Now, the exonerated five was not the exonerated five when they got arrested. When you look at the documentaries and the history in the old articles, all we know is they were arrested and they confessed. So if they confessed, most likely everybody, white, black, Hispanic, anybody else who read the news paper or watched the news, thought they was guilty. He just had the money to say that they should get the death penalty for what they done. Could it be race based? Quite possibly. But I mean, we know how the police coerce people into, confessing. And they said they had these boys in that room for hours, maybe even days on end, and they was young, so they didn't know no better. They was ready to go home, and we hear them stories all the time. How police just tell these cats, "Hey, you just say what we want to say, write this down, and you can go home. You can get out of here." And then they end up doing it, and they never see the house after that. It's just we've seen it happen. So, but with that being said, how was they supposed to know? How was he supposed to know how the confessions came about? So, like I said, they wasn't exonerated five at the time. There were five young brothers and a Hispanic guy, Puerto Rican, whatever, who confessed to a crime. That's all we had. So that's why he wrote it. It wasn't like he waited till they got exonerated. See how they play on words? It wasn't like he waited till they got exonerated and then said they need the death penalty. Did he apologize? No, I don't think so. But that's not what we're talking about here. They didn't say that he didn't apologize. They just said he want the exonerated five, the death, trying to give him the death penalty. Okay. History as a landlord is checkered with repeated allegations of racial discrimination and outright refusal to rent to black tenants. I see allegations, but I don't see any proof or any lawsuits against him or his real estate company. So was it true? I don't know, but I know a lot of landlords, tenants, white, black, his it's just Hispanic, whatever. I don't know, not too many Hispanic, but like blacks, white. Hell, I was reading this book called Eviction. It's like a New York Times bestseller. I'm almost done with it. Been reading for a few weeks, but be busy, can't read like I want to. And it tells a story of like six people, poor people who's going through it, who went through it in Milwaukee with renting in low income places. And one of the landlords, her and her husband, they were black people. Actually, a couple of them, few of them I think were like black landlords on it and the way they did black folks. Excuse me. To the point to where some of the places they rented, they said that poor people were paying more rent than people who weren't poor. And still to this day doing the same thing. But what am I saying? What am I saying is he's doing, if this is true, like I said, these are just allegations. But if it's true, he's doing something that everybody's doing. So what you may need to do is to find a way to pass some laws to be and strictly enforce discrimination, unless you got bad rental history. And then you find out why people got bad rental history, which could be because they can't find a decent enough job to pay a decent enough wage to be able to live in a decent neighborhood. So there's a cycle, but you see where it starts. You got to get to the root cause, and then you can probably fix your other issues. It says, following the murder of George Floyd, Trump described black protesters as thugs, threatening that when the looting starts, the shooting starts. I don't think he said black protesters with thugs. I think he said those protesters. And you had a bunch of black Antifa, which were like mainly white people out there. And we've seen videos that the Antifa people, the non-freedmen, were out there like breaking windows out. And the black and the freedmen were like, "What are y'all doing? No, we ain't coming to do that. We trying to protest calmly in March, and y'all trying to destroy these people's property. Talking about there were pallets out there with bricks on them. Like who in the hell got a pallet full of bricks and just drop them off on the corner of these streets? But that had nothing to do with us. That was them folk doing it. So when he said those people, it's like thugs, right? Those are the thugs. He say, okay, refer to a majority of black nations as asshole countries. Well, yeah, I remember he said that. Why he said it, I don't know. But hey, was it race based? I don't know. Can't prove it. Man, you can't really prove intent with stuff like that. Recently, Trump spread dangerous lies about black Haitians eating the pets of their neighbors. This was on the news. And he even said it during the debate that he was like, he said this. They were saying, like, that's not true. But people saying it wasn't true. But he was like, hell, it's on the news here. We'll see. I mean, he said, it's just something I saw on the news. So he just repeated it. I mean, should he have? Probably not. But there were people who were saying that they seen these Haitians, these immigrants come in and freaking grabbing these pets and eating them. But it was a woman who did eat a pet, one of her neighbor's pet. But she was like, I think she was a freedman descendant. And she's had mental issues that she sat there in the middle of the street. Then she like killed a cat and cut it open and ate it. What the Haitians was doing, they was just grabbing ducks, I think, or I don't know what the Haitians did with them dang ducks that was in the ponds or whatever. Don't know to this day. Don't care. You know, that was up there in Ohio. But like I said, he just repeated what was already put out there. What did he say? If reelected, things will get worse. Trump's Project 2025 agenda. That's a lie. He already said he had nothing to do with that. The person who wrote it was an a-hole. These were his words. And he got nothing to do with it. And the Project 2025, that song gonna been written for the last, I don't know, at least the 70s. They just revamp it and update it, as time goes on. Say bring back stop and frisk and enact full immunity for police who commit crimes on duty. Like you said, it just depends on what the circumstances is. Sometimes you got to have, a split second decision to make, a split second to make a choice. I know down here, there was a guy last week who got, taken out by the police with the guns. And when you read the story, it was a white dude. Let's say he had a knife, domestic violence. And said he threw the knife at the police and then they shot him to death. I'm sitting here thinking, what kind of sense does that make? Because once he threw the knife is gone. The threat is gone. So now you can just go on and tase him and arrest him, right? Wait, what do I know? But they don't need full immunity for sure. But we'll see how they go. They say he'll cut funding for education, Obamacare, Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. Now, remember, he said he was going to cut Obamacare and find something cheaper. Obamacare is still here. Could it be that it's still here because he could not create something better and cheaper? Because if he just wanted to get rid of Obamacare, he could have done it, right? But he was trying to do something, couldn't do it. So why? So he didn't get rid of it. Come on, y'all. Read the context clues. He said he will erase 4 years of financial gains and job growth for black men and leave their communities worse off for it. There ain't no way in hell. What job growth are you talking about? I don't understand. But anyway, let's keep going. Let's see. Vice President Harris will deliver for black men. Continue. Regurgitate. What to say? Oh, I'll pass on need to. It said right here. It says she will ensure that black men can build wealth and achieve economic success by providing 1 million loans that are fully forgivable of up to $20,000 to black entrepreneurs and others who have historically faced barriers to start a new business or growing an existing business. That could be black people. That could be Hispanics. That could be white women. That could be Asian Americans. That could be anybody. Black entrepreneurs and others. First, the entrepreneurs, which can mean men and women. So you're not just doing something for black. It's a carrot. The carrot is still out front. You see that proposed a tenfold expansion of tax deduction for small business startup expenses from $5,000 to $50,000. This should help small businesses grow by providing low and no interest loans to small businesses that want to expand, boost access to venture capital, and support innovation hubs and business incubators. Remember what I said in the beginning? Really, only thing black men really want is just access to resources. You ain't got to give nobody a handout. Just give everybody equal, a fair chance to make it, and then we'll go from there. Because if you give somebody a handout, a lot of times people will squander it, and they know it. That's just a history of people. Remember the PPP loans? Remember those? People just did everything they could to get them. And I think some of them were small businesses or people who were trying to start a business. But the problem is they say, hey, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this loan and then take that money and then grow my business. Thought they were going to be able to grow their business real quick, but that's not how the game works. Did it, mess around. Once they got a hold of the money, said, "Oh, I'm gonna use a little money for this. I'm gonna use a little money to buy this and do that." The next thing you know, you don't spend all your money on yourself, and now you got to pay it back, and your business has not grown because that's probably the reason why your business hadn't grown in the first place. Let's keep going. Studies suggest that Black Americans are twice as likely to be denied credit by banks, regardless of their credit score. Yeah, that's true. Can't, you know what I'm saying? And even getting loans. Know a guy who like a dessert shop, older guy, and he said that he had been at a bank forever and had a lot of money in the bank. He wanted the same amount of money for a loan so he could start a business, and they denied him. So he's like, I'm just gonna put my money at the bank, and they're like, "Oh no, sir, no, sir, don't do that. What can we do?" And they try to give him like a little bit of the money he asked for. He said, "Nah, I'm gone." So yeah, that is true. She's proposing now, not putting it in place, not saying that if I get into the office, this is what's going to happen. Until I hear that, I don't want to hear it. That's why today she's proposing a new partnership between the Small Business Administration and trusted partners on the ground to provide loans that are forgivable of up to $20,000 to entrepreneurs. This is the word black there, who have a good idea but don't have the resources, connections, or access to capital to get their businesses off the ground, as well as entrepreneurs locating in underserved communities like the Asian Americans and like Koreans and the what you call it, like the Mid Easterns who's come to the hood and open up their little stores, right? In the hood because nobody else would do it. Like those. This will help Black men and other Americans start or grow a business in their community when they don't have the startup capital. Amazing. Let's see, expanding access to bank accounts and lending to help Black men build wealth. Said nothing but Black men. Let's see. Vice President Harris will also work with the private sector to expand access to affordable banking options that will allow Black men and others. See that? And others who are locked out of the banking system. My gosh, this is enabling Black men who hold digital assets to benefit from financial innovation. Just said Black men. Let's read. Let's continue. More than 20% of Black Americans own or have owned cryptocurrency assets. You know why? Because remember that whole Dogecoin thing came out and everybody's acting like they was getting rich quick. People love to get rich quick. That's the only reason why they bought some dang crypto and Bitcoin and Dogecoin back in the day. Because they thought, oh man, people getting rich. Let me go and buy me some real cheap. And then when it blow up and I get rich, I'm gonna sell it. I'm gonna live off the land. These people don't realize that once you see the money that has been made, all the money has been made. So now you just go in there helping just pad their pockets a little bit more. You're not gonna get rich off of that. Not if everybody doing it. Things like that, investments, you got to get in on the ground level on investments, period, to make the big money. If not, you get in and you just got to sit on your money for years until it appreciates, compound interest kicks in, and then you can enjoy the benefits later in life. You're not going to do it quick. But that's why a lot of brothers and sisters got into crypto because they thought they're going to get rich quick, and it don't work, that way. It says Vice President Harris appreciates the way in which new technologies can broaden access to banking and financial services. It says she will make sure owners of and investors in digital assets benefit from a regulatory framework so that Black men, all right, and others who participate in this market are protected. Why don't you just say all Americans? Because when you say others, hell, that could be anybody. So just say all Americans and stop trying to placate the panics of Black men because it's not working and it's not going to work. I'm telling you this ahead of time, man. Breaking down unfair and unnecessary barriers to employment for Black men. All right. Vice President Harris knows that Black men are disproportionately shut out of the job market. Excuse me. Based on their criminal records and credit scores. All right, man. That's what I'm talking about. Vice President Kamala Harris believes that employers should consider a job candidate's qualifications first without the stigma of a conviction or arrest record. Now, that'd be great. because Donald Trump might need a job since he's a felon now. You might need to hire him. So he's gonna need a job. That's why she would work with Congress to require businesses to limit the use of unnecessary criminal arrest histories, convictions, and credit scores in their employment decisions. Laws like these have been shown to lead to increased employment among black men and have been embraced by 37 states and 150 cities led by both Republican and Democratic governors. The problem with this is it's already in the people's mind, the business owner's mind. You can create a bill to say stop discrimination, and they don't have to. Ask anything. You really don't have to ask if on a application if a person has a criminal history. You can just go on what's it called, verify me, or verify something. I can't think of the dang link or the app, but you can go on there, been verified. There it is. You can go on been verified, pay a little money, and look up anybody information. Anybody information. And matter of fact, if they tell you where they from, and if they're honest, you can go to the county records and look it up. It's on. Everything is online. You can look it up and find that person name. Hell, Chat GTP will probably tell you. It is online public record. You can find anything you want to just like that. So you don't have to ask. Employers don't have to ask if you've been convicted of a felony. Pay attention, y'all. Pay attention. This program would build on her work as Attorney General of California. She got a bad track record there, and District Attorney, where she implemented nationally recognized and successful programs to help former offenders secure employment, reduce recidivism, and reintegrate into and contribute to their communities. Didn't say anything about black men on that one. Well, the very top, very top. Enabling black men and other workers to profit when company executives profit. Okay, well, like I say, that's for everybody. Expanding pathways for black men to good paying jobs, whether or not they have a college degree. What did it say? Help black men stay in school. I'm just skimming through. Okay. By investing in programs aimed to add retention and graduation of black men and boys, not just from high school, but from higher quality careers and technical education programs in 2 and 4 year institutions, providing ongoing membership support. You start stuff like this when kids in kindergarten, so they can have a great study habit, work ethic. That's because that's when you start it. Because you do it when people are grown, it's kind of hard to get grown people to change their ways, and you just wasting money. They say provide more pathways for black men to become teachers and school leaders. That's what we need. We definitely need more teachers, because I remember having black teachers, and man, them brothers got respect, and students would do work. Only 1% of public school teachers are black men. Dang, I didn't know it was that low. Vice President Harris will build a pipeline of black male teachers, including by investing in programs under the Department of Education, which Trump wants to eliminate, to collaborate with historically black colleges and universities and minority serving institutions that will empower black men and others to enter and succeed in the teaching profession. You got teachers that's quitting now because they're not getting paid. These kids are crazy, and parents are not disciplined or training or teaching their kids. So they go to the schools and act a fool there. And if you look at the kids wrong, or if you touch the kids, even after they touch you first, you can get like suspended from your job, fired from your job, stuff like that. And don't nobody want to deal with that. Shoot, you want black men to teach? Don't just offer them a teaching job. Make these parents raise their kids. Invest in grant programs for mentorship and leadership development. Helping black men succeed and connecting them with established leaders. Program like My Brother's Keepers, and increase investment in leadership training and mentorship within public schools. Black men develop leadership skills early. Okay. Provide financial support to financially straight farmers and ranchers, including black farmers and ranchers that have been denied access to capital by banks and federal. They already gave money back. I did a video about that, about how it's like peanuts what they gave. It's nice they gave it, but for what they saved, like $300 billion, I believe, is what black farmers have lost through the way land has been taken and sharecropping and all that kind of illegal stuff back in the day. It wasn't illegal back then. And they only gave like a couple of $1 billion. It ain't worth my vote. Providing black men and their families with reliable, low-cost internet access. See, some of this stuff I don't really understand. I think because I got a career, got a degree, got a career, so now I'm making pretty decent money. So a lot of this stuff, I mean, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I complain about groceries being too high and gas prices being higher than they were. And I'm not rich by any means, but I do understand by going to the gas station. I can say I go to the gas station and I fill my tank up, and I can't tell you the last time I saw how much it costs. And I use premium, and I got a truck, so it got at least 20 something gallons. And what's that? I forgot. I don't know how much gas is now. I know I look at I know how much regular unleaded is. It's like 259 or 269, something like that. But that's just because the sign is what you see when you pass by the gas station. But when I get to the gas station, I don't even look to see how much the gas costs. I go to Shell, put my little code in, get my little 10 cent off, 30 cent off, depending on what day it is, and just fill up. Once it click, take it out, drive off. Go to the grocery store. I use coupons at CVS, maybe HEB sometimes, but I'm gonna get what I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get what I need regardless. Cause I mean, I just got enough money to do it. But for those who don't have it, those who make the average of $30,000, $40,000, which is like the average, I can understand how that could be a problem. I could, so talking about access and like internet, uh, I forgot what is the bill for the internet phones, and because I keep a landline. Know a lot of people don't have landlines, but I keep a landline because you never know, phones or can stop working. Battery could die. Whatever the case, can't charge a phone, but you want to at least have some way of contacting somebody somehow. Maybe if you lose your cell phone, or who knows, like little kids get in trouble at schools or whatever, get their phones taken. They can use a house phone to call whoever they want to. Things like that. But yeah, so like I say, internet, house line. I think I pay like a little over $100, and it goes up every now and then. But I mean, I'll be upset, and I'll figure out a way to change it or whatever. But I mean, figure out a way to another company to get a lower rate. I've changed insurances, I've changed, cell phone plans, stuff like that, to try to get a better rate. But it's not like at this point I can't afford it. And what I'm saying, I thank the most high for it, being able to do that and everything. But like I said, someone who makes a third or maybe a third of what I make, I can understand how that could be hard, how this can be a hardship. So like I say, like I say, I understand it. About like say internet and this, that, and the third. So, but if that's what she's offering, low cost internet, they already got low cost internet. So I'm not sure what that means. Hey, you can give internet for free if you really wanted to, if they wanted to. Uh, let's see the bipartisan infrastructure laws, affordable connectivity program provided 23 million households with up to $30 off of their monthly internet bills and a one-time discount of up to $100 to buy a laptop, desktop computer, or tablet. $100 off. You know how much laptops are. I mean, you can get a laptop for maybe $300, $400, $500. Not sure what it can do. It's kind of like buying one of them little old chirp phones or whatever that the old people get. I think that's what it's called. And all you can do is dial in and out, maybe send a text message. I get it. But when you're trying to expand, especially business wise, that's not gonna help. Hell, matter of fact, even for my channel, this is one of the things that I did to try to, upgrade my channel a little bit. Had to get another laptop in order to be able to like react to videos because the old one I had wouldn't let me do it. So now I can do it now. So I'm able to, change up, do different content, expand my content that I can bring you. So it wasn't no $500 laptop. I tell you that damn much. Reading the program. Let's see what it say. This program connected an estimated 5.5 million Black households to affordable high-speed internet, closing the digital divide for millions of Black families. Now, 5.5 million Black households, but the program provided for 23 million households, which means Black households and others. And you see black households, which is 5.5, wasn't even a fourth of all the households that got these discounts. Come on now. Come on now. Stop playing with me. Relieving the burden of medical debt so black men can take advantage of opportunities to build wealth and start business. Here we go. Black men. More than 1 in 4 black households report having medical debt. Now, black households can also mean households that don't have a black man there. Don't forget that now, which is quite a bit. Significantly higher than the rate of medical death for all adults. Vice President Harris plans to work with the state to relieve medical debt, the leading cause of bankruptcy in America. Really? Will disproportionately help black Americans. Not just black men, but black Americans. She will also implement a rule that would remove medical bills from most Americans' credit reports. I think they already do that for the most part. But that says black Americans. So see that word play. You gotta watch how they play on words. Say make a top priority lower cost for black men by revitalizing competition in food and groceries. We already talked about grocery stores don't make a lot of money on groceries, lowering rent, black men and their families. The rate how that help large corporate landlords, but that's everybody. You're not just gonna have only black folks in one apartment complex. You can't say, well, you got lower rent just for your black tenants. That's not gonna happen. Now, if you're on Section 8, that can happen. Now you're gonna add black men to Section 8 to the HUD, in the HUD program, then you might be talking about something. But if not, mm-mm. Now we're talking about like not discriminating, like allowing black men to actually get those same benefits that black women and other women get without no question. More than tripling the number of new first-time black homeowners each year by the end of her first term through her housing plan. Oh, we know about the 3 million additional houses, provide 25,000 for a down payment, which will only be tacked on to the house by the builder. Based on an analysis by Moody's, the number of first-time black homeowners will more than triple per year under her housing plan, a 250,000 yearly increase by the end of her first term. Houses is too expensive right now. I don't see how brothers or sisters or anybody going to be able to afford most of these houses because these houses are ridiculous. The average price is like $300,000, $400,000 for a house. Man, that's crazy. They said home ownership is a key engine of wealth building in America, which it is. Fewer than 20% of black Americans under the age of 35 own a home. Less than half the rate of white Americans. The research shows that promoting first generation home ownership is associated with not only building wealth, but also improve health and education outcome for children at home. That's true. That's true. Fighting the end racial bias and home appraisals that have lower. We've seen that, appraisals that we've seen, stories where people have sued these appraisal companies because they lowballing them when they find out it's a black home, but then when they switch it up and make it look like a white home or make it look like a non-black person live there, then the appraisal is like exactly what it's supposed to be. We've seen that. We've seen it. Just keep suing the companies and you'll be all right. Help reduce costs of black men with children through tax cuts and affordable care. Vice President help black men work to provide for themselves and their family by spending the child tax credit to provide up to $3,600 per child and provide up to $6,000. Why she put that in there? Because she said that's for all people. So again, I think I said enough. Just y'all can read this. But again, this is a nothing burger. There's nothing behind this for black men in specifically or in particular. This is for everybody. She's just using the word, you can just insert a word. She's like she got a template, and where she put black man, it used to say insert group here. So she could have put black men, black women, Asian men, Asian women, so on and so forth. But she just trying to, like I say, 2 weeks and they have nothing. They have nothing to fall back on. So they're scared, they're in fear, and they don't know what to do. But it don't matter what you do, because if you ain't getting our vote, shoot, you ain't making it better right now for sure. What to say? Cutting taxes for black men, lower rates jobs by increasing the earned income tax maximum by 1,500. Again, this is for everybody. Have quality, have sure black men have access to quality for every healthcare. Have access to high quality, affordable healthcare. They're already doing that for everybody. Let's see. Launch a national health equity initiative for black men. Diabetes, sickle cell, prostate cancer. Cap insulin costs $35 a month. She's doing it for everybody. They've already talked about this under Joe Biden. Brings down costs for black Americans who are 2/3 more likely to have diabetes and more likely to report rationing their drug because of cost concerns. But again, that's everybody has that problem. Sickle cell, now that's a black thing. Every now and then you might get a Hispanic person with sickle cell, but that's a black thing. I can understand that. I see a lot of black women have sickle cell that I know. Increased investment in HBCUs, and MSI, medical schools, and healthcare programs. Protect and strengthen Affordable Care Act. Okay, keep health insurance premium down. Black men and their families consider doctor graded without breaking the bank. You know, like I said, I can't take this serious because the stuff that I'm reading, if you've been following politics long enough, especially with the Biden campaign over the past 3 years, you know all this stuff that she's talking about has already been talked about and implemented or discussed dealing with American citizens as a whole. All she's doing is just taking out American citizens and putting in black men to try to make you think this is only for black men. This is a bunch of garbage. Protect access to clean air and clean water. What just for black men? We're not gonna clean nobody else's air or water. You're just gonna clean the air and water for black men, or let's say black Americans. We must remove the barriers that so often held them back. What has held us back? Uh, Legalizing marijuana nationally. That hurts my head talking about marijuana. Why? Because it has to be associated with black folk. Yeah, I know. Hell, if anybody deserves to be able to open up dispensaries, it probably should be us. But could you find something? Because first you have to legalize marijuana, like I say, national on a federal level, not just nationally, because you can do that from each state to state, but on a federal level, because you got all these dispensaries in these states, and really the feds can come in and crack down and swoop down and take, Mhm. excuse me, take all the assets and money at the drop of a hat because it's not legal federally. So if I was a black person, I probably really wouldn't jump into that because at any moment, if they're gonna raid, it's like you holding their money for them. It's kind of like a bank for the federal government. You holding their money for them, and now they like a loan or whatever, and now they coming to collect. I don't think I would trust them as a brother when it comes to marijuana. Building trust between law enforcement. What and community they serve through the common sense policy reforms and the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act, which banned chokehold. Did that pass? I don't think that passed. George Floyd been dead for how many years? And you still talking about this? Lord have mercy. Community violence intervention programs. You got to get a kid something to do. Keep them busy. Give them jobs. Give them programs where they stay busy, doing something positive, productive. Start when they're kids and they grow into it. That's basically what you got to do. Fund that. Have better school education and everything. Protect the right to vote. My right's protected. Well, let's say a right previous generations of Black Americans died fighting for, and to have that vote counted so that this election cycle and everyone to come, their voice will be heard. Vice President Harris will fight for the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act to stop racial voter suppression and the Freedom to Vote Act to modernize our elections, expand vote by mail, in early voting, putting an end to partisan gerrymandering, and reduce the corruption influence of money in politics. Really, when you got more billionaires backing you than Donald Trump has, come on now. She will also surge resources to the Department of Justice to investigate and crack down on those suppressing or obstructing Black Americans from exercising the right to vote, and so on and so on. I'm voting. I got my driver's license. I got my voter's registration card. And on October 21st, if I'm up, let me look at my schedule right quick. October 21st. Wow. I actually asked for that day off. And it wasn't to vote, it was because of something else going on Sunday. I said I want to go to work on the 21st. I will be voting on October 21st. Early voting. Best believe. But I have my voter registration card and I got my driver's license. I will be voting that day. No suppression here. What's this say? Vice President and a little more. Trump don't care about Black men and their families. I'm sure he doesn't. Made lives harder. Watch millions of Black men lose their jobs. Thousands close their businesses. And hundreds of thousands lost their health insurance. Again, I don't know why she keep instilling, inserting Black men on this stuff, because this stuff hurts everybody. Everything they're talking about hurt every American. So it's not like it just hurt Black men. When we talk about we want something specifically for Black descendants of freedmen, specifically, that means economically helping all our people and not everybody else getting the benefit. Home ownership for our people and not benefiting everyone else in the same way. Taxes, lowering taxes, not having to pay certain taxes for our people, not everybody else, not for minorities, whatever, and others. None of that. For specifically for freedmen Americans. That's what we're talking about. You do that, like I say, it's too late now. To me, it's too late now. But if you do it, let's say you win this election, you get in there and you say, "Hey, I know I won. I know y'all didn't like me. I know y'all thought I wasn't gonna do it, but hey, I'm gonna go ahead and knock this out." So that way, when that next time come around, you pretty much be guaranteed to get 90 to 100% of the Black vote, of the freedmen American vote, if you do it that way. But like I say, see this messenger, his Project 2025 agenda. This man said he has nothing to do with Project 2025. Stop them lines. Stop the lines. Stop the cap. Donald Trump has reportedly shown contempt for Black America. Black men taking their right, fueling division. Exonerate 5, the New York Times article. What else? Call a protester thugs. When the looting starts, the shooting starts. Well, hey, somebody robbing my store or breaking in my house. Yeah, it's gonna start. The Black Haitians, we talked about that. Defending. It's another lie she told. This is another lie she told that nobody getting with. Donald Trump defended white supremacists who gathered for a racist rally in Charlottesville by claiming there were good people in their ranks. A disgraceful attempt to normalize hate and division. Now, when you watch the interview or the press conference, he said those white nationalists and those racists are pretty much, not gonna say quote unquote, but was like scum. He did not praise them. He said that he was talking about the good people that were there protesting either on the right or the left, or on one side or the other, that were protesting peacefully with signs and not causing problems. But he specifically said those nationalists who out there being violent, attacking people, he talked down on them. So I'm not sure why they keep pushing that rhetoric, but it's a flat out lie. Please understand, get it through your head. It was a flat out lie. He said later he refused to disavow his connection to white supremacist group like the Proud Boys, even after being asked to. He like, man, I'm tired of saying the same thing. Like when they asked him in the primary, not primary, but the debate with Kamala about him saying was she Black or wasn't Black, he was like, man, I don't care, move on. And they just kept pushing and pushing. Man, it don't matter to me. I don't care, move on. They just kept pushing him. And eventually he gave a little somewhat sideways answer, but still he like, man, move on from that. I'm not finna sit here and keep talking about that. They're going to try Project 2025. We just read that. Same thing. Thugs, thugs, same thing. Thugs, thugs. Huh. Clemency, but he make stop and frisk practice normal. Well, you know what? Sometimes you gotta judge a book by its cover. I'm sorry. I'm a descendant of freedmen that pay taxes and live in a nice neighborhood. Yeah. If I see somebody that don't belong here, yeah, I might call police and say, hey, somebody walking through my neighborhood. I don't know who they are. Come talk to them. And it's Project 2025 agenda, Project 2025 agenda, Bullcorn, 300,000 Black Americans lost health care insurance in the first 2 years. I'm sure Black Americans weren't the only one that lost health care. Promises terminate the Affordable Care Act. But again, he tried to do that. He said going to do that the first term, but he didn't, which to me means that he just couldn't find nothing better. So he left it there. Just like the Biden-Harris administration left those tariffs in place after Trump got out because it was good for the American people. They say Trump elected one for Black Americans who have been diagnosed with pre-existing condition could be denied coverage. That's for everybody. Cause Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. That's for everybody. Prescription drugs, that affects everybody. Roe versus Wade, that affects everybody. Project 2025 again. He so on and so on. So man, you know what? I think we pretty much went through it all. I was amazed because I really didn't plan on doing that. I mean, it would have been longer if I would have read it like from start to finish, but I didn't. I didn't want to. But so y'all see it in a nutshell: more lies, more nothing burgers, more dangling carrots put out by the Harris and Walls uh, ticket, and it means nothing. You say it means nothing. I say it means nothing. If you don't like what I say, that's fine, but you can't deny the truth. So I'm back to saying, if you vote for this woman just because she's black, man, you got problems and you shouldn't be voting. You can like her because she's black, but someone like you should not be voting because we got to vote on policy. This is not a popularity contest. This is not high school. This is not junior high and high school class president and vice president and on the board and council. This is not that. There's something much more important for you, your family, and generations to come. But anyway, thank y'all for listening. Tell me what you think. Leave your comments below. Share it with the world. Thank y'all for watching. But don't forget, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those four things cost you nothing but maybe a couple of minutes out your day, but it means the world to us. If you want to support financially, you can do super thanks, super chats, or go to the description box. There are links there you can click on, help support us financially there. You can also go to marlonmorale.com. That's marlonmorale.com. That's in the link. That's in the description box too. 10% off your first purchase. Or you can just click on the shop button below this video and you can buy products there. Well, we got silks, we got colognes, perfume, really just a parfum for men and women. Handbags, silk scarves, silk do-rags. Just go on there, check it out. You won't be disappointed. And with that being said, I leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.